And good morning and welcome to the Klear Picture Podcast. I'm the voice known and spoken highly. That's SPOKEN_HIGHLY, and I am fly and I do stay high. Raining from the triple D, that's dirty, dirty D for all those that didn't know it. We got my man Cedric Williams. Raining from H-Town. I mean Houston, we have a problem, but it ain't the drip. With our residential drip analyst, Dion J. What's good, Dion? Raining from Cypress, Texas. And if you don't know, now you know, Adele. Last but not least, Mr. Real himself, reigning from Rocky Mount, North Carolina, like I'm T. Will. And we are the Klear Picture Podcast. Your access has been granted. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good.
Man, we're finally here. Let's just go ahead and say it. Let's take a breather. Let's let everybody look at us breathe. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Entanglements.
Oh, wow.
Hashtag.
He shoots up with entanglement.
You said
That's how we gonna start it?
was that what you was talking about?
Entanglement.
Okay, fine. Let's first off, let's talk about how we're finally here. You know, this episode is called "Are We There Yet?" You know what I'm saying? Finally. So
It's okay, guys.
let's go
got
ahead
a
and
little
take
entanglement.
Hey,
You know what
a
I'm
lot
saying?
of
It's been
creative differences. You know,
lot
great
of creative
minds.
differences.
Not all great
Yeah.
minds think alike.
That's true. That's true. Growth in every block that we face. Growth in every block. I mean, the growth that we actually have is shown right here because we are all here right now. That means we put aside our differences to actually put aside something. And now that we're here, let's go full force with it. I'm proud of everybody. Let's give the round of applause. Like, honestly, congratulations. We got this far.
We need to put your sound effects on for that round of applause.
That did not sound like a clap.
I'm dead.
Oh, yeah, no,
hey.
I just wanted the motion. You see the motion.
Hey, but shout out to Beastie Kicks, man. Hey.
Oh, yeah, got to give a shout out to our sponsor, Beastie Kicks. Shout out to Beastie Kicks, man. And we have the Entanglement. Let's go ahead. Everybody's waiting on it. We already had somebody just spew it out at the beginning of the day, so let's go ahead. Listen. Okay. Will Jada.
And now we here.
August. Now we're here.
Jada wild. Jada is wild.
Jada's wild.
Let's start there. She wild. But I feel like where she really went wrong was that he came out publicly with it. Because we all know that Will probably didn't, it's Will. It's what I'm saying?
Will didn't slash some team.
It was no way. But it never came out publicly. And for you to, on top of everything, August Alsina?
It's only strictly speculation until you actually come out and make a confession. All of those things could be done.
Cheat on Will Smith.
All of those. Like, no, but see, you got to understand the history behind Will.
Technically, they did not cheat though.
They didn't cheat on each other. No, because they were separated.
Of course,
they were separated.
She had an entanglement while married. Exactly.
But their marriage
She
is indeed what she claimed it to be, an entanglement. Their whole marriage is an entanglement. Because
an entanglement is an affair.
They step out.
So did y'all see that whole video?
I watched the whole video.
I watched the whole
it. So
I
what I
laughed the
got
whole
from it was you did.
Yes. It was some bullshit.
So it was because I'm sitting there. I felt bad for Will, bro, because he's sitting there and now you on live TV talking about your relationship with you and your girl and some dude that done hit your girl.
And you got to be comfortable with that.
You had to be comfortable with it. That was the thing.
I guarantee you that was not their first time talking about it, and it was still a source.
He's the bigger man. He's the bigger man because he sat at the table.
No,
he
was petty that whole interview. He was petty.
I mean,
What did you do, Jada? What did you do, Jada?
I'm just saying. I'm not saying he wasn't right in being petty. I'm just saying
his terms were gonna be met. His terms were gonna be met before he sat at the table.
Oh no, you had no choice.
I'm sure he was fixing to be completely petty as soon as the camera rolled on gold.
You want to know what's crazy? Because of Jada cheating, Will probably had more to lose than Jada as far as like sponsorships and deals they had going on.
Or absolutely. Let's be real.
I don't even think it goes that they're their own self entities at this point.
There is a double standard when it comes to men cheating. Let's be real, because it's expected. Yeah. It's expected. So when it happens, let's be real. Nowadays, Instagram, somebody come out, oh, Carmelo Anthony cheated. Boom. He's getting killed in the comments, bro. Yeah. He's getting killed.
So is it stature? It's stature. I
think it's because of who he had, bro. I think it's because of who he had.
It's
Carmelo thing. Because no. I'm talking about Carmelo with Lala. I think that's why he got killed on it. And it's like everybody know Lala, everybody know Melo. So
everybody know Will Smith.
Bro, but
exactly. Bro, but so it's like that. I feel like that's why Jada's catching so much backlash for something that happened 4 years ago. Even though, bro, this is the problem that I had, bro. Her explanation on the whole thing, it was just like, just come out and say it. Don't try to tiptoe around anything, bro. Like, your explanation is gonna get you the freedom you want.
Y'all see the veins? Y'all see the veins in her neck? Entanglement.
Oh no, she was finessing the whole way.
Entanglement. If you don't address the fact that it was somewhat of a clout chaser for me, because I'm thinking August is definitely on some Kanye West running for president, clout chasing type situation. Because listen, his album.
Bro, he's just being a nigga, bro. I'm telling you, niggas do that shit from time to time.
Listen, I'm gonna drop a bomb right before I drop an album, knowing that I ain't been in the game in a while like that.
But see,
listen. In marketing, for somebody.
For sure it's marketing. But the part that got me fucked up is
sales, controversy, sales. If you're going and you're trying to disrupt what we have already like somewhat put as the most like outside American Black American family, they become somewhat of an example with Will, with Jada, with Jaden, all of the with Willow, they all there. I mean, Will breaks internet every time he goes on. You can debate that, or you can pull up facts because
debatable.
Debate it.
Bro, all I'm saying is, bro, you making it seem like it's a big publicity thing, which it is for August Alsina. But the part that had me fucked up is on Jada's side and Will's side, that's like it's so long ago. Why is he bringing it up now? It's like, bro, it's for one, do you not know your status as a woman? You are Will Smith's wife. You are Jada Pinkett. You think I'm going to forget fucking you? Like, why? Like, bro, I'm honest.
Disclaimer on that, man. No. I mean, you're right. I did knock down Jada Pinkett-Smith in your crib. You was there. Yeah, like all of that. That's fine.
Like niggas, Brad love to brag about shit like that. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. It's like, bro, probably was on the street, bro. He said, you know how smashed that. While Will was there, Will was downstairs.
He could have kept it peak. I personally think he could have kept it pimping. He couldn't have said nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like Drake said, what Drake say all the time, Trey, is more attractive than you what? You hold it down. Like, yeah, bro, you trying to tell me rapper secrets while you in the I ain't trying to hear all of that. And at the same time, like, bro, like, oh, you gonna drop an album right after you drop some controversy. It looks like you really were reaching. And if you're not gonna decide to give him a scale where he meets with reaching, then I can't really just weigh in on this discussion.
I mean, we should do Kanye the same way then. For that presidential thing.
But it should be. But we're used to Kanye's controversy. The reason why is because we're used to Kanye's controversy before he releases an album.
Why normalize it just for Kanye?
No, it's not. Kill the word normalize. First off, like
I mean, that's what it is, though. We've been doing it for years, though.
He said kill the word.
Like let that one ride. I'm gonna need to find another one, but I agree. You're exactly.
I really wish he would use some other type of controversial topic to get ready for his album, other than putting out Jada Smith. But
like I looked at the interview with him and Angela Yee.
Now that was okay. So
it was literally like 3 to 5 minutes of him talking about it. She brought it up. He was literally saying that because he was sick when he met him, he was real sick when he met them. So he was really just talking about
He
how they
went
was
straight
like
to the
kind of
Breakfast Club.
helping him out, and then it just I don't know where it went left.
It
It just popped out, and it was just like, I was with Jada. I was like,
he went straight to the Breakfast Club. This man did not seek help to
Hey,
nobody.
what would you
I'm
do?
talking about when he
What
was
would you
really,
do?
when he met Jada and Will.
What
That
would
time
you
when he
do?
was really sick.
Oh no,
You know
no,
what I'm
I
saying? He was
agree with
talking
you
about.
when he was really, but that's the thing though. Like this can go both ways. Don't get me twisted. Jada's wrong for preying on
It's
Audrey.
her fault. It's her fault.
preying
Period.
on
You make
August
him
and
sign an NDA. You sign an NDA. Period.
everybody who did
Why
what
didn't they
that
have an
was a
NDA signed? That's a good
Man,
because
you
she
got to sign
trusted that man.
NDAs now for this
Not
type of stuff?
what you
Because
said.
he
You should
was
be.
sick.
Of
They
course.
gonna take it back
Of
on
course. And you
You should
famous
be
like that?
signing
That's
NDAs
Hollywood,
these
though.
days
That's
anyway.
Hollywood for you,
It's
bro.
not about being famous. Like don't act like you can't catch me in the lobby. I'm not just anybody. It's just protecting yourself. It's about protecting not even what you know what I'm saying. Just all the riches that you might have. It's about protecting what you have and the riches you might have. Like, cause that's gonna go hard for real. That's why you seeing these baby mamas, no disrespect, are coming after these rappers and these artists and these actors when they hit the jackpot. That's when they hit it. That's when they hit it.
You know what I was always told? I was always told that if women get caught cheating, it's because they wanted you to catch them. Do y'all?
I heard that too.
Do y'all
totally
feel like
believe
Jada?
that.
Do y'all
totally
feel like
believe
Jada was careless on purpose?
I
It
don't think
wasn't
that
her fault.
It wasn't her fault.
It wasn't
He
her
didn't
fault.
hold it down. That's why
Exactly.
the favorite meme, my favorite meme
She
that
could have
I
easily
saw,
got an NDA, like you said, though.
My favorite meme that I saw was Jada don't know how to handle her hoes. It was the most outrageous, but like it's said, but it's right there. It's got Will's face on it, and it's literally him saying, Jada don't know how to handle her hoe. Literally, bro. Obviously, you're used to your lifestyle being the way it is. You're not surprised at what's going on in the midst of your bubble. So, but you are surprised that you let somebody in who did not basically guard the sanctum of your peace. You allowed him to come through that mug. You allowed him to stay there. Yes, bro, that's like saying, bro, you went like, okay, we got anime people in here. That's like you saying we're using you as the hyperbolic time chamber. But the first thing I'm going to do when I get out this mug, strong, ready to go out to the world, is destroy it. Because I'm not trying that. But you know for a fact, obviously, what he did get in those Smith walls did give him a great album. Because obviously he's still going up in the ranks of how he's selling and his content. So obviously he's doing what he did. He set out to do. And obviously he felt like she was going to be his quote unquote rejuvenation chamber. And she used him as the same way. But one of them was deciding that they were going to let it stay. And the other one was plotting on it. Like, I can't wait to let this go off. I'm going to coincide, let this out right after I release that I'm going to have an album. All of these things, and I mean, it's publicity, bros. It's publicity, people. You got to just give it to how it is. Controversy sells, and he has not been in the forefront with music-wise. I'm talking about with music, not his controversy of him being sick, not his controversy of him not being able to be mentally stable, but straight talking music.
Hey, what you worry about music for if you out here smashing Jada Pinkett-Smith? That's what I'm feeling.
Obviously,
that's what he was doing.
He out here beating down Jada Pinkett-Smith. Y'all, you think he worried about dropping tracks?
I mean, but what more?
Tracks?
I wonder if he was getting money.
Though.
I wonder if he got paid.
Exclusive.
He did though.
I wonder if he got
getting exclusive money. Shit. That nigga on a whole nother level. He out here smashing Jada Pinkett. Y'all doing tours.
He got a book coming.
Apparently he went out on a couple of family trips with the family too.
Come on, bro.
He was seen in pictures. He's seen in pictures with the whole Smith family. Looking like
him and Jalen friends. He smashed his friend's mom.
Hey, look.
Damn.
Hey, look. He the dude that your girl tell you not to worry about.
Damn.
That's tough.
That's the
That's
brother.
That's what he is.
That's the brother in the family who
All right,
smashing
so
both the shit. Wow, that's crazy.
I got a question for y'all then, bro. So y'all said that he dropped that because of controversy. So do y'all feel like controversy help album sales? And do y'all feel like that because
6ix9ine.
It does.
Controversy
In a way.
definitely says.
I'm about to get on
in a
the
way.
floor.
It
Yeah.
does.
And
All right,
okay, so stop. Just get away from 6ix9ine.
No, I'm about to ask a question.
No, I'm just telling Adair was like just 6ix9ine. Go to Eminem. Eminem's whole career was controversy. From him going to the front row to him going to the back has him being controversy. And he can still make a match like that and he's back up in the public eye with some controversy shit. That's what he prided himself on. Not to mention, don't get me wrong, he had the skills, the bars, all of the tracks to hold it down.
Right,
but that's the reason. But that's the reason why he was controversial. He was talking about shit that wasn't a lot of people were talking about.
I was saying that to say this. So do y'all feel that when Pop Smoke dropped his album Aim for the Star, Shoot for the Moon, he had the top 15 tracks on Apple Music? Do y'all feel that it was because of the controversy of his death that it was a hype, or do y'all think it was really that good of a tape?
Did y'all listen to it? Did y'all listen to
it?
I personally did not listen to
Personally,
all of
I have listened to it.
I listened to it.
I have listened to it. The tape is fire. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a Pop Smoke fan, but the tape is fire. Do I think it would have been this popular had he not passed away?
Nope.
No. Also, I mean, when the album dropped, they found his killers. Also, I mean, they arrested suspects for his murder as well. So
that's true. I've seen that.
Absolutely, controversy plays a part in that because it's news, like they say. Regardless,
all news is good.
All publicity is good.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it was crazy how they found his killers around when this album dropped. That's crazy. He been dead for a minute. Now y'all just now finding his killers, not his album done dropped.
I remember DJ Khaled saying it's sad how artists gotta die before they become famous, and you know what I'm saying, before their work gets world known. And that's kind of true.
I remember I was on this trip in Austin, and we put Nipsey on, was playing all his songs, and this one person says, "Dang, I didn't even know this was Nipsey. This the dude who died." And I'm sitting there looking at them like, where was you all this time? You know what I'm saying?
You sleep on Nipsey?
Does play a big,
You sleep
What's
on
his
Nipsey?
name? XXX Temptation. How you say his name?
I didn't like him before.
Put some respect on it.
I never listened to his music.
I didn't either until he died.
Also,
I heard that one track with Lil Wayne. What's it called? Don't Cry. I was like,
oh, okay.
His
17
album,
judgment.
Triple X's 17 album is amazing. His 17 album is amazing. His follow-up album with that was also good. So he was very talented, honestly. I was a fan before the death, all that.
His post,
Triple X really, he was special.
His post album is definitely gonna play. Not to mention you got 50 Cent who jumped in. You got 50 Cent who jumped in.
I could see him being a young 50. I could see him being a young 50. I listened to it. I was like, okay. You got a little something there.
I heard that many men. I heard that many men.
Y'all saw the 50 Cent interview?
He got a little something.
Nah, he got something. Like I said, for 50,
it's that flow that he has.
Exactly. He was waiting on somebody to remind himself of him. And it makes sense when 50 would wait until he found somebody who would remind himself of him to put him out there. To put and that right there is not surprising. And then you hear Many Men, the remix or whatnot, the remake of it, and it's like, oh yeah, bro, this was 50. This was another version of 50 Cent. Now, do we have a Get Rich or Die Trying flow? Do we have a bulletproof type flow? He had time. I believe he did if he was given the time and the right management, which looks like he would have had it. He would have had that. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I believe he could have had, if he would have been given time, he would have been fine.
And his production was fire. I'm not gonna lie to you.
He
All
was
up
his,
and down,
the
all up
production
and down
was
that
great.
album. His
The
production
production was great.
that's
I don't think that he could really. There'll never be another 50 Cent, bro, because y'all gotta really put some respect on 50 Cent. That's what's
Thank
crazy.
you.
That I thought it was crazy that T.I. really thought that he could call
Knock
out
him over?
50 Cent in a hit battle, like in a versus battle, like bro.
I mean, but you're head to head. We do know 50 got him, but there is a couple of punches. It would be a good fight just because of how old people who would listen to the old T.I. See, I was listening to T.I. back when trap music was out there. I'm serious.
T.I. went hard.
T.I.
got hit.
Like, no,
T.I. got hit.
T.I. got hit.
Rubber Band Man still bump.
Rubber Man 10. But that's beforehand. I'm talking, no, he don't have Get Rich or Die Trying because he don't have Drake. You got to give 50 Dre and Eminem. You can't talk about one without the other. Like that's who, when you heard In the Club and the way that mug bounced off, talking about go, like, dog, it was
They
over.
came for him.
It was over. It was over. They knew what it was.
That's why T.I. need to stay where he at. He need to go through a battle against.
Not stay where he at.
No, wait.
Not stay where he at.
He can only size up with a couple of people. And the thing is, T.I. still gets credit for him being one of the kings of the South, and that's what he does get. He does get credit for one.
T.I. can't beat Rick Ross in a hip-to-hip battle.
No, you can't.
Nah, there's some jabs, but he can't beat him though. You're right.
It's only because Ross. I feel like Ross can hit so many flows.
It's his instrumental. It's his production. But you got
so
Cole and
much
Drake.
You
got DJ Khaled. You got Scott Storch. You got you got a whole. You got the Neptunes. You got a whole. But don't get me wrong. They met with
Rick Ross over T.I. You're right. Yeah.
I mean, but I mean, Cool and Dre. Like, bro, Mafia music by itself, you've got so many producers in Rick Ross's flow. Like, you can't size up one without the other. Like, and that right there, you gotta give it to him. Like, because that's why he stands on. Not only
if you're talking about your catalog, then that plays a part.
But not only did he create a team of people who could create a sound that he wanted to paint known as Mafia music, but he's also who created that sound with this team, and he meshed with it. He's moving with that style. Every time that you hear something of Rick Ross after you press play and you close your eyes, you are a boss in either a Mafia movie.
Sound like Rich Boss music, yeah.
Yeah, like you in the back of the Maybach. You in the you dropping the top.
That's where Drake come in.
That's what that is. The coast.
I'm getting so cold.
Ashton Martin music. Ashton Martin music will come.
That was one of the best songs.
With that feature. With the feature. With that Rick Ross and Drake feature. You can't feel much more player than that.
Drake is a John. Drake is
a stay scheming hard.
You either give him.
He got more than stay scheming.
Yeah, bro. Y'all tripping. Like, honestly.
Rick Ross before Drake.
Fam, but you gotta realize that Drake is up there with it. Like you.
Oh yeah. Don't nobody want a versus battle with Drizzy. Wait,
speaking of Drizzy, did y'all hear about Pusha T trying to shoot another diss at Drake?
He need to get
that man to sit down, bro.
He need to stop, bro.
We not gonna
take care of
actually, no. I want that to happen so Drake can stop on the album that he's working on.
Go
ahead, drop some more music. So
Drake not gonna say he not gonna do it.
The album
he's not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Every answer to the questions that y'all are looking for, and Darren's gonna say he filmed me, and T Will gonna say he filmed me. Go listen to all these other music tracks, bro. Drake telling you what he gonna do, bro. He say if he would address it, he would lose everything. He know what it would be.
Yep.
He know what it is. He reacting to the petty thing, but
he had already shut down the track.
No, it's not even that. It ain't even. It's the fact
He's
that
saying he
he's
don't have
not
time for
even
them
at
no more,
that
basically.
level.
Yeah.
He don't
Exactly.
want it to be that way. Like, you're not at the level where, Drake did start. He had to come up and Kingpin another line, but he said that if you diss me, you'll never hear a reply for it. Well, we know that that's not the answer anymore because he's replied to 2 different artists on 2 different platforms, and we know that. So he had to come up with something else he's standing with. He knows that he don't gotta address it because he knows that either the person
They on 2 different levels
he
now.
gonna win that, or he either gonna slap him on 5 and give him 5 for even booster, or not even gonna lose. It's not no lose situation. You don't have no lose situation when it comes down to Drizzy. Drizzy not in the position to lose.
I feel like with Drizzy, it's a lose-lose situation with Drizzy. I feel like if Pusha T beats you in the battle, he's not supposed to beat you. But if you beat him, it's expected. Like, it's like
Drake not gonna sit back and go bar for bar with Pusha T ever, because he's already taken it in his eyes. He's already taken it outside of the stadium, outside of how
he crossed the line.
He crossed the line when he went after his partner. I ain't gonna talk too much about that because you do your research on that. Yeah, do your research on that. I ain't gonna talk too much about that, but that was massively disrespectful. And then, you know what I'm saying? There is such thing as rap battles, and there is such thing as all the way going out. There is people who used to say, mama said knock you out. All the way back to, old school hip-hop battles and shit like that. They were grimy, so it actually is somewhat of an oxymoron statement to me, hearing Drizzy talk about, I study rap battles and stuff like that. He made the statement. I heard him say it. He did what he said. He said what he said.
Too?
Yeah,
imagine being that powerful. Imagine being that powerful though. Like the bed was just stop.
It's not even about being that powerful. It's as if you gonna sit there and be in that chair, hold yourself to that stature. You gonna have to be the WWE champion. Where the only analogy I can give you is that anywhere clause, that hardcore. For those who used to watch wrestling, they used to wrestle everywhere and anywhere because that's what the type of clause they had on that belt. If your opponent knocked you out on your way into the arena and he pinned you with a official referee, that was a champion. The belt could change hands. When you actually sitting at the top of you going into you being a godfather, or you saying that you sitting into all of these people who you sitting with, you got to realize that you can get taken at you. You can get a shot taken at you anytime. Those are just the lifestyle that you do live in. But I will say this, going back to it, once you decide that you're going to move by certain rules, those rules can either help you or damn you. And you have to put yourself in position to hold yourself to those rules, to the point where it don't matter if you get mad and you in the studio and you hear the reply, you got to stick to what you said, because there are certain people who are respecting you on what? Your word and your balls and your word. That's what it is. If you saying you diss me and you never hear a reply for it, and then you like, oh, well, shoot, I'm finna go on and reply to this. You got to watch out, because now somebody's calling you at your word all the time. But if you at that stature where you say you are and you don't have to actually give an answer, then you good. Show that you good.
I feel you.
I was just talking about the fact that Drake shut down. He shut down the second disc from Pusha T. Like, imagine being that powerful now that you can just shut down tracks. Like, when people release tracks, you can shut it before it gets out.
It's not about being powerful.
Crazy.
It's not about being powerful.
That's just crazy,
it's
bro.
About as a grown. It's not even being powerful, and that's giving too much power to one man. Kanye said that not one man can have all that power.
Bro, Jay-Z does it too. Jay-Z does it too.
It's the fact that you are comfortable. Like, okay, that's perfect, but you are sitting in your comfortability. Like that, it ain't got nothing to do with power. As a man, you can decide what you want to address or what you can, what you want to address or what you're not gonna address. It's not about being powerful. It's not about being where your stuff
Okay,
is.
okay,
No.
Bro,
Bro, you're not understanding what he's saying.
I'm
like,
saying
it's powerful for the fact that Young Thug heard it and came out himself and was like, nah, you're not gonna do that on the track that I'm on. That's the power that Drake had.
Like Drake shut it down before it got out.
That's a league. That's a league of people who are sitting at a table of understanding, and they know what these people, just like Drake is addressed in Dark Lane. He said it. Boys giving me fives and boys looking at me low, but they still respecting me because of where I put their music at.
But the thing is,
I'm saying, I say that to say this: you don't have to move if you got soldiers to move for you, and that's what Drake be talking about, and that's loyalty. That go back to a boss's table. That's the same reason why Rick Ross and Drake can still make music when everybody know T and Kanye West now.
That's why Drake talk like how he. That's why he talk how he talk.
Bro, that's what he made that announcement.
Yeah, Jay Prince investment.
It's not about Jay Prince investment,
bro.
That's not a Jay Prince investment. That's loyalty. That's loyalty to Ross, knowing that he at the table with Ross.
He used to be an investment. Now he family.
That's family.
Now he family.
Yeah, because he's sitting at the table now, bro.
He got a seat at the table now.
It ain't nowhere that you can go that he can't touch you now.
Fam, Meek sitting there talking with like, if you look at his title, he was interviewing with Elliot Wilson and I forgot his other name. I think it's Godric, but it was the title interview. And Meek was sitting with the same people that Drake was sitting with a couple of months or ahead of that. And you know, he was like, it's hard to sit in a room with somebody that you truly just really don't like, and your mentors are speaking to him as if he's your brother. And he's sitting there like he was like, bro, it came down to we didn't have nothing but good things to talk about because we were sitting in a room full of people with nothing but good things to talk about. He said, you sit in the hood with people who talk about other people's demise. You sit in the hood with people who are talking about trying to get somebody's next dollar. But when you're in a room with these people are trying to talk about accumulating money. And you got another nigga's mindset of what his move gonna be at. Well, if you pull this, or if you pull this, and you're not really in that mindset to sit there and do good business. Good business. Those are the words that you sit at with bosses. Like, I'm not finna sit here and mess up money knowing I got a Maybach Mafia music career that I already know that's where I stopped at. Ross know where I'm at. Drizzy know where Ross at. Drake, Jay over all of them. If you listen to what he say in the beginning of Hustling, he talk about Def Jam, Rockefeller, Maybach, One Umbrella. He tell you everything that you want to know in these music. You just got to start listening to music. That go back to Jay's line. Are y'all boys just listening to good music or y'all just skimming through it? Because every question and every statement that can be posed on these type of platforms, or even in the conversation with your boy, these people are giving answers. They are addressing it. You just got to listen.
Man, I just think that's just the politics of it, just being able to stop another rapper, you know, from releasing songs. It's like when you want to. I think that's just crazy. That's amazing to me.
It was about respect. He broke that respect, that the respect that Drake could create around a battle. Give him that type of clout and respect for him to create a rap battle and make rules. Because everybody who knows about rap beats, who knows about rap beefs and everything else, it didn't have no rules in it. You go back to one of the most disrespectful rap beefs ever in the history of hip hop. What am I talking about?
J&R.
Not even that, bro. fuck your bitch.
That's the
and
one
Clip
I know.
You Claim.
Oh,
Come on, bro.
Hey,
that's why I fuck your
nah,
bitch. Fat
that day
motherfucker.
way more disrespectful than that.
Okay,
way more disrespectful than that.
so the fact that Ether was literally going into more a New York street
I'm talking
battle.
about super
They
ugly.
took it out.
Not
They
even
took it
Ether.
straight out.
Super
They took
ugly.
it, but what they not gonna tell you is they took it out the studios. They had clips. They had clips beating people up outside of the one on parks and cities and studios and streets. These people was really having people beefing, and that's why I'm telling you, it goes back to what Tupac and Biggie was talking about, because they weren't just in the studio releasing wax with disrespectful tracks. They were giving people instructions where Tupac couldn't go to certain parts of New York because he wasn't good with Big, and Big was having trouble with being in certain parts of LA.
That was the fans' reaction, though. That was the fans' reaction.
But
I'm gonna talk about disrespect. Go
Dude.
listen to Super Ugly, bro. The man talk about nutting on his baby car seat. You don't get much more disrespectful than that, man. You don't get much more disrespectful than that, bro.
That's
I'm
crazy.
sorry.
You can get more disrespect. That's creepy.
That
You
nigga
nutting on your
Nas,
baby car seat?
that nigga Nas said that Jay still, that nigga 32 years old, still in karate.
Like
That nigga Nas told Jay-Z he
came
got
from
dick
some real
sucking lips.
like
That's what had me, bro. I said, wow.
the Biggie
Bro.
Pac thing was more like that was a fan thing. Like it was the fans that was more against
but that
it.
was your good. Yeah, but the fans fueled it, girls fueled it, posses fueled it. It was a lot of people on the side.
That was a misunderstanding.
Yeah,
More than
it wasn't
anything, to this day,
it
to me, it's a misunderstanding. But that beef between Jay and Nas, that was just disrespect. That was just disrespect.
Well, actually,
fact
now
that
y'all
they-
tripping. One of the most biggest beasts is Gucci Mane and Young Jeezy.
Young
Really.
Jeezy. I mean that
Like,
right
why
there.
y'all? Somebody really died.
Hey,
but
50 and
you
Ross.
can't really
50 and
50 and
Ross.
Ross. Officer Rick.
No, hold on, not
Officer Rick.
that was a murder. 50 Cent murder.
Ja Rule killed, 50 killed Ja Rule. Everybody know that. Everybody know 50 killed Ja Rule.
Oh, yeah.
But but you talking about certain individuals, and that's what I'm trying to go. And that goes back to what I'm telling you about this whole rap beef and stuff. You got people who are making stadiums, who are making rules for these stadiums and these arenas, and then are wanting to get in the ring with people who grew up off of those battles alone, who actually studied those battles alone, who are students of not only music, but real students of hip hop. And the thing is, it starts talking, you start talking about a mix up and oxymoron statement that Drizzy's making. And I love Drizzy to death, bro. But you can't claim to be a student of the rap game and learn how to use the sword, but then you gonna decide whether you gonna make position to draw your sword out after you've been challenged. After like it didn't have to go as far as it went, but Drake but Drake felt where he felt like he didn't have to answer the statue because of how it was matching up, how his book was there.
I feel like that's like as a champion, you have that choice to choose who you want to fight or not. You know what I mean? I feel like he's given that. I feel like he worked for that, to be able to decide who he want to beef with, who he want to like reply to. You know what I mean?
Okay, but you gotta, but that's Pusha. But you got people who would argue Pusha T been in the game longer than Drake been in the game, so he got tenure. One, Pusha T been in the game. He didn't have a summer. Put like for all of y'all new people who don't know about the clips, they didn't have a whole couple of summers. They didn't have a couple of hits. They didn't have like he didn't touch the couple of charts.
Only one I know is grinding.
Do they literally have two hits? Because I only know one.
That's the only one I know.
Please tell me another hit so I can look it up.
My clips.
All right, we're gonna fact check and then we're gonna skip in and so on going
into a couple
it.
hits. Them niggas had probably a summer, but they probably like a couple weeks.
Grinding.
Hey,
I don't know, man.
You forgot them. They teamed up with the Backstreet Boys
That's
They
cool.
teamed up with NSYNC.
Who remember that? Nelly did that.
I mean, Nelly definitely did that, and I mean, everybody remembers the Girlfriend remix.
Nelly better than Eclipse. He better than Pusha T. I'm sorry, I said it. More hits. Check the hits.
You can't. That's not an argument. That's not an argument.
Okay. As long as it's not an argument.
Grammar. What do you mean? You're not gonna sit back. Not with me.
Wait a minute.
Not with me.
Name a Pusha T album. Name a Pusha T album.
I bought Country Grammar. I'm not a Pusha T album. The
Name
only Pusha T album that I can give you is a reference to controversy.
Name a
goes
Pusha
back
T
to
album.
my main point. I can't. What is it? Want something in Miami? Something from Miami to some Miami? No, I don't know. It's the one with Whitney Houston. That's exactly what I'm saying. Country Grammar, Sweatsuit. Come on, don't get me started. Don't ever. Cause say Lunatics. Cause I'm gonna give credit where boys don't even realize that the Saint Lunatics album, that with all of them, with Murphy Lee Key, what, bro?
Murphy Lee, Murphy Lee.
Sir,
what goes up must come down.
What the hook gonna be?
What goes up must come down.
Fam, you're not talking about the South in the tracks of history if you're not talking about grills. Mm-hmm. You're not talking like grills, like, and not to mention, y'all young people really don't realize that was gift from Goody Mob.
Since you keep calling us young, let the viewers know how old you are. Since you keep calling us young.
Oh, hey, real life, man. 31 years old. I'm
31. Hold it down.
He meant 35. He meant 35.
Because of what the reason why I'm proud of it is because I got a timestamp full of everything that is authenticated before it got to the stamp that y'all brought with. Like, we started it. There's a whole starting stamp of where you gotta give credit to everybody that there's a music catalog that's undeniable, from R&B to rap to hip hop. If I name 6 R&B artists off of y'all, you already know them all, and you got their hits in their mind. You know who Cisco is. You know who Drew Hill is. You know who Genuine is. You know who Justin Timberlake is. You know what I'm saying? You know who NSYNC is. You know Backstreet Boys. I remember when they were going head to head on a platform known as TRL, which is Total Request Live. Shout out to Carson Daly and MTV. You know what I'm saying? There's a timestamp to where you can't help but drop authenticating facts on music, on movies. Like, do you remember the orange videotapes that Nickelodeon used to drop? I know some of y'all do. I know y'all know those. Like,
I do. With the Rugrat tapes still out.
You remember? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like, do you remember Fox Kids? Do you remember WB Kids? Do you remember when, do you remember when you were waiting on Saturday morning for a show called One Saturday Morning on ABC, where you could get a block from where it was Recess? I remember when they were
Recess
all growed up.
Recess.
You remember when the Rugrats had a sequel? You know how many years they
all
was
grown
before
up.
Rugrats all grown up?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
All of those things are a timestamp to my timestamp, and that's the reason why I've learned to embrace it, because my people, my age group, we were watching cartoons still. I don't know what everybody's watching these days. They not like a lot of these cartoons that these kids are watching. They got a lot of other stuff in them. And yes, we did have a lot of other stuff in us. Don't get it twisted. In our cartoons.
Wait, I have a question though. I have a question. So how do y'all feel about TV shows and cartoons these days, like implementing more?
After 9, don't let your kids watch Cartoon Network. After 8 o'clock, and they used to give.
That's when Adult Swim came on, right?
No, it's not Adult Swim. That's what I was fixing to say. They used to give a parental advisory.
No.
Before
that's not what I'm asking.
Yeah, after
that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, how do y'all feel about them implementing more of the LGBT community into the shows?
I feel like when they do that, I feel like they're crossing the line, because the thing about Bro, the thing about media, bro, the media is so dangerous if it's used the wrong way. You can literally mold little kids' minds when they're vulnerable and raise them up to be a certain type of way by the shows that they watch. So when
that goes back to programming all the way back to
that's programming. That's programming.
Yeah, that's like when you see
Okay,
the toy.
Another way to look at that.
figure,
Another way to look at that is that if you are a homosexual or a lesbian or bisexual
a part of the
or queer,
LGBTQ
to them it's like, why don't we have shows like this?
that?
Okay, I feel like I don't mind
to them
that.
it's their normality. And
they're wanting it. They wanting it to
you
be
know what I'm saying?
I don't mind it being on
that's why they compare it to. They shouldn't compare it, but they do compare it to like being black in America, because it's like we keep asking for like, oh, why don't we have more black shows, black
equality rights,
having all these shows, equality rights, everything.
Yeah, equal rights.
I think,
but to go off of your statement, it's like, oh, well, it could bring harm to my child if he watches this. But to them, it's like, it's just our normality. Like,
it's bringing realization. But that goes to the parent. That's what I was going to say. Yes, it is. It can be a normality in certain homes and, certain education that you want to put input on that child as far as what you want to teach your child. But as far as the normality, that might not be a normality that another parent wants to put base on their child.
So you feel like they should have like better parental controls, so where you could dictate what your kid is able to watch, whether it's the show contains.
I feel like that, but at the same time, and you can talk to certain people in the educational world and those who are teaching, these students, these kids, they are actually going through things that we really did not have to go through as children. There's a certain step that we now.
And do you think that's the problem? Is that we're scared because we didn't have to go through that?
I won't say our generation is scared. I would
if you did not prepare to go to war in a certain state or in a certain category, you will not be able to know how
That's
to
a
fight
perfect analogy.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. Like, we can't talk about the LGBT community without even addressing the elephant in the room. So, like, the elephant in the room is that the LGBT community is so big now. They literally run everything in entertainment. Like, literally.
Hey, don't forget the Q.
They at the top. Yeah, the LGBTQ. They literally at the top. They're literally at the top saying yes and no to shows that get approved to air. So like I'm cool with gay stuff being on adult shows, but like now they have it to where like gay stuff is popping up on little kids shows. I feel like that's crossing the mind. I feel like you should give kids a choice.
But you can watch Marvel. You can watch Marvel movies and you can actually see a lot of different things that are getting clued in and are getting actually put together, and you can put them together easily. You've got Captain Marvel's actor by the name of Brie Larson. She's actually going into a LGBTQ relationship, and it's actually being shown. She was actually in a lesbian relationship while she was in the army in the movie, and you actually can pick stuff. You can actually start to pick stuff out like that, even from superheroes, even from Supergirl. They have DC Supergirl, WB Supergirl. They have a lot of those things that are coming into factor because of the fact that, and we're going to talk about that again, it's coming normalized, but also they're doing it because they don't want to get in trouble for not doing it. That's another thing that you have to give it to. That's what it's a must now.
It's a must because they're at the top. They're controlling everything.
Because just how it was scarce to find an intelligent, and you being a student of the academy, Cedric, acting. I'm sure you made yourself pressed on a lot of different acting in the time that Black actors were going through where they could not get an intelligent role. There's a reason why we're trying to get those movies like Gone with the Wind. If you look at Little Rascals and all of those roles that they had for Black people were all dumb roles. They were not as high, as intelligent as they were put out to be. If you look at what's his name? Not Buckwheat.
I was watching
Buckwheat.
one show.
Go ahead.
I know I was watching this one show. It's back to the anime. During like season 2, dude is running from this like gang of pirates. All of a sudden, dude is hopping up the building. The building has ladders. Just to look up there, it's a Black dude dressed as a woman, full Black dude dressed as a woman with these big t-shirts, throwing barrels down the ladders. What is that thing? That's Donkey Kong all day. They're literally depicting just the monkeys.
I mean, I personally think Planet of the Apes is truly not what you think it is, but people will call me crazy. Because, I mean, the story sounds familiar. They take their land, they come back, try to fight them off their land again. Exactly. Exactly. That's a double entendre. And what that sounds familiar. And then I'm going to touch on this briefly. They talking about they destroying statues, right? This is not new, people. This is not something that they just hatched up on and said, let's go out and do this. They destroyed Frederick Douglass' statue. I'm gonna put this out like that. They destroyed it. They've done this before. They've already started taking history away from us by destroying what we would call remnants that would teach us and enlighten us on what has happened before we got here. And if we can't find anything standing before we got here, we can't trace back where we came from. It's a study as old as time, or what we did, or what, like all of those things. So they don't want us to be able to clue where we actually stood. They want us to wonder where we actually stood, and then while we're wondering, get down on ourselves like we did not do anything while we were here. And that's a total misconception that they want to put on us.
I saw like 100 people outside of the Sam Houston statue.
Can you get closer to the mic, Trey?
Yeah. No, that Sam Houston statue gotta go.
I saw I saw like 100 people out there, and we went to a restaurant, and somebody asked, did you see a bunch of people outside of the statue, protecting the statue, making sure it didn't get tore down? So I feel you.
And what did I called you on the phone. I called you on the phone, and I said what? I said, well, while we have all of this black militia. I was reading somebody by the name of Grandmaster Jay or whatnot. He's got the black. Get out there and guard those relics. Get out there and guard those remnants. Because I guarantee you, if they would have been able to guard the pyramids and the relics of Egypt, or have an adequate guard to guard those relics before they started tearing noses off and destroying statues and pyramids, I guarantee you we could have stepped ahead of it, because we need to start to preserve what we have already, because it's so quick for us to be taught that we have nothing. That's what many years of segregation, they call it, they call it segregation. Brown v. Board education called it separate but equal. But at a time, you were learning the real story about where you came from. You were learning about the people who weren't your heroes, but were your villains. And I'm not talking about just villains that decided one day that they were going to be bad guys, but generation of villainy, activity against not only your people, but a lot of different people, not just because of their skin color, but because of how they stood in place of democratic, of all of those things. You just really gotta understand where you stand and where you're trying to stand today.
Absolutely.
And that means educate yourself.
Absolutely.
So
That's the biggest problem is ignorance. Is that you know what I'm saying? They don't know. A lot of people just don't know.
So
Especially white people.
Do y'all feel like the history that we learning in the schools is relevant or not relevant to us?
If I wanted to, in the state of Texas, I need my money back for the time that I spent in Texas history. Because I can literally put on a board. I can literally put on a board who they tried to make it out as a hero to me and who was trying to enslave my people. Because if you go back and you read about it, Santa Ana was down sure for us. He was for sure for us. Independence was what they was wanting.
I'm gonna say this: the history that we are learning in the schools, we do need to know about. Just like you said, so we can know about the other side of history. Because all of history, you really only know kind of like half of history. You only know
history goes to the victors. History goes to the victors. Everybody knows that the losers weren't. The losers didn't pick up a pen and get their opportunity.
All of it. We don't know ours. We don't just need to know theirs, but we need to know all of it.
That goes back to learning everybody's situation because of the fact that you can put yourself up on something for reading about your enemy that your enemy didn't know about them that was fully exposed. You know what I'm saying? Like you can always go at it.
That goes into wanting to be enlightened because as like you said, the winner is always gonna tell their story, and growing up, that's probably all you're going to see is what the winners is telling you. And you're not going to know until you decide to be enlightened and go do some extra research.
I mean, even in the Revolutionary War, let me give this moment of history. There's a black man by the name of Crispus Attucks. He's the first person to die at the U.S. Revolutionary War. Everybody doesn't know that. Everybody doesn't know.
He was the first person to die?
He was the first person to get shot.
Well, damn, I don't think we wanted to take that one. You know what I'm saying? Like,
at the same time,
yeah, we don't want that one. Yeah,
we didn't want that one. That's why we died. We don't want that one. Is that why we died?
You're the first person to die. That's first blood.
You know, speaking of
Call of Duty, you can't.
He was the first person. He was the first person to die in the Boston, Massachusetts massacre.
See, that's how we got movies all the time.
That's definitely probably. Like
still
I
don't want that.
You still, exactly.
I mean, you gotta okay.
He keep that. He was mixed.
Actually, I think they lying on the cool. We couldn't have been the first one to die.
We couldn't be the first one to go out. Come on, bro. You serious?
That's some movie stuff, bro. I don't believe
that. Come on, bro. There's no way we was the first person to go out.
I wouldn't put it past somebody.
You probably got shot first. We ain't bleed out though. Somebody else got shot.
They must have sent him out there like, "Hey, go look." If they
he was the first patriot. He was the first patriot to die for America.
He's a black patriot.
He was. Listen, exactly my point. Crispus Attucks was the first patriot to die for America in 1750. Attucks was a slave.
Did he die for America? Or did America kill him?
Then you start to talk about why are you able to chronological?
That right
there. You chronologize all of this, but you can't give us the rights that we're asking for.
That one. I can't take that. I'm sorry.
He made his money. He made his money trying to buy his freedom. He used his money to make he buy his freedom.
I'm all for the blacks trying to be the first in everything, but not that one. He was the first black patriot.
Man, there were black writers in the early 1900s. There were writers trying to write movies, and they couldn't even write.
There were black everything. If you want to go with it, people used to travel across the world to go be educated by black people. We had one of the top universities in the world, university known as Timbuktu. Do your research on that. Do your research on Timbuktu.
Absolutely.
Right. So with the history lesson, there's another black brother who made history with his name being Patrick Mahomes boy.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there we go.
What was it like? What 45 million?
He got that money.
4,500 million to 500 million. Who's counting? It's half a
billion.
It's 500. So the total contract is 503 million, 477 guaranteed.
The length for 10 years.
For 10 years.
Extension on
But
top.
they structured it where he could get out of the contract if certain incentives wasn't met. I.e.,
he gets 146 million if he gets hurt.
Exactly.
He's 24 years old. Let's make that out there.
Guaranteed.
24.
So with this, do you think that the NFL is going to move into doing career contracts and just saying, hey,
when you have a career player like Patrick Mahomes, possibly Deshaun Watson, these are the type of players that are going to get those contracts.
You think Lamar Jackson is going to ever get a contract?
They're going to be able to
absolutely.
They're going to be able to ask for what they want. They're going to be able to ask for what they want because of what they demand.
He's probably going to get more.
Yeah,
he might get
Lamar
Jackson, bro.
I don't know.
You can. I mean, from the stats and what they're putting up, you have to understand that these people will be able to go to the table and ask these numbers, and they won't get looked at like they crazy,
bro. But I just can't see Lamar Jackson from the standpoint of he's so hard stereotyped. People still don't believe he can do it, even after last season. I believe he can do it. But there's
always.
Oh yeah, he may.
No, and it's not even that. They don't believe he can stay healthy. They believe
he made always
a play, bro.
9.5 million.
Who?
Lamar Jackson.
Didn't he get
for a 4-year, $9.5 million rookie?
Yeah, no, that's
his rookie deal. That's his rookie deal.
That's a rookie deal?
Yeah.
That's his rookie deal.
Damn.
But what I'm saying is
Mahomes still on his rookie deal as well, I think.
Nah, yeah, he is. But what I'm saying is,
Mahomes got
less likely.
Including
Mahomes signed a 3-year deal. But Mahomes signed a 3-year deal.
Yeah, his rookie deal.
Mahomes signed a 3-year deal because he sat out that first year behind, I believe, Alex Smith.
No, he didn't. He
sat behind that first year behind Alex Smith, and then he played these past 2 years, and then he got his new contract.
Nah,
so Lamar Jackson is still on his rookie deal.
Yeah, he is. But what I'm saying,
last year.
What I'm saying is, I feel like a team is less likely to give him a 10-year contract because they think he'll get hurt like Cam Newton.
He signed a 3-year.
He is different to me. He is
Lamar
different.
Jackson out here just trying to take them hits. Lamar Jackson, he'll slide. He'll get a 30, 45 yards, and then he'll slide.
I'm with you there. Do you hear the criticism on all the big medias?
It's nothing else to criticize. Have you seen him play? The man drops back. He got a cannon. He got that arm. He drops back, and it's easy for him. It's so easy for him.
Have you seen the top 10 list, the top 10 quarterback list?
Hey, look.
Lamar is not on there.
When Kobe Bryant didn't make the top 10,
I'm a Kobe fan.
The NBA,
top 3.
I don't need to see no
you
more.
Lose faith. You lose faith in the scale. You lose faith in the scale.
Wait, who was the top 10?
Just how double
top 10 quarterbacks?
No,
how double XL does freshmen.
They had
year.
Deshaun Watson over Lamar Jackson. They had him over Drew Brees. They had I'm over it. I can't see no more list.
Bro,
you lose faith in the scale.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I actually got Lamar Jackson.
What are they making the list off of? Are they making lists off of statistics, or are they making lists off of accomplishments?
No, it can't be wins. That's for damn sure.
Yeah,
it's for sure not wins.
It's not off of wins. It's because in the NFL they so locked on throwing the ball, just straight throwing the ball.
Hey, look, I tell you one thing. Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league, hands down.
He is.
No question.
That's because he's the best thrower, though.
No question.
Completion rate. It's probably completion.
No question. But secondly, it has to be Lamar Jackson. It has to be Lamar Jackson as number 2.
They didn't even put Lamar Jackson in number 2.
He wasn't. I don't think he was top 5.
No, Russell.
How your MVP not top 5?
He was number 6.
Russell Wilson? Russell Wilson better than Lamar Jackson? Come on, bro. He got
Russell Wilson.
Defense and won 1 Super Bowl. You saw what happened. His second go round.
I'm not gonna lie.
Mahomes didn't even make the list.
I'm not gonna lie. Let's be honest.
Mahomes
is number 1 on that list. Mahomes is number 1 on that list.
It is a team sport, though. It is a team sport. Let's be honest. You can have players that are way better than players that are winning the Super Bowl, but they just on sorry teams. You know what I mean?
I mean, absolutely.
I don't think,
but there's
No,
no
just because they got Super Bowls and they MVP, they don't really, they don't
No,
really,
the MVP matters. The MVP matters. MVP matters. You balling.
that's true, but I don't think people understand. Like, I'm one of Lamar's biggest fans. I've been a fan since Louisville when he scored 7 touchdowns.
Absolutely, freshman year.
I was at the club bored as hell, and he saved my life that night from boredom, bro. Even still, I believe him more than anybody. I'm telling you right now, there is in the NFL, a lot of them white GMs is not believing in him, not gonna give him a 10-year contract. I will give him a 10-year contract every day of the week. But I'm telling you, there's a white GM in the NFL right now that's saying, "Nah, he's gonna get hurt in 4 years."
Hey, I know that his team believe in him, and that when his time comes next year, he gonna get paid.
I lost money on Lamar Jackson. I bet my barber $40 and lost it. So I put my money in on dude.
That's nothing. He get no person that's probably worried about getting paid is that. I mean, of course.
I'm a Cowboy.
That's worried about getting paid.
Fan. I'm a Cowboy.
My
fan.
question is, do you pay Dak that type of money?
Nope.
Bro.
No, you don't.
Hold on. You seen where Dak was on the list?
Okay.
He was number 9. He getting paid number 9 money. Number 9 money.
No,
you are
number 9.
Number 9 money.
Number 9 money.
He took number 9 money.
Hell no, bro. Everybody hit him on the list is better than him. Everybody.
Boy, Lamar Jackson is 23.
Hey, okay. Transition though. Okay. How about this bubble though? How y'all feeling about this bubble in the NBA that's got going on right now?
Oh, that would definitely be with Mr. T. Will. Go ahead, T. Will. Give us a report on the bubble.
Okay, question. Trey, is there an asterisk on the team that wins the championship this year?
I'm gonna say, give me time to say this. I'm gonna say yes.
It depends. That's true.
I understand the corona's coming back, but they're doing the restart. That restart for me would take the asterisk off. But because people can catch the corona and have the corona, and everybody's team is not fully loaded, not saying like injury, but this is like an injury that you can't really, right?
You can't play through it. If you got it, you ain't playing.
Exactly. And then you could affect the whole entire bubble. So it's like, where you about to go after you catch it? You can't practice with the team.
Game 7.
For all of those who don't know about the NBA bubble, the NBA has constructed what they have called a safe environment for them to continue the NBA season.
I was about
Go
to.
ahead.
So
Go ahead.
It's not like KD going down, you know what I'm saying, versus Kawhi after he done hit 3 straight threes. Like, that's an asterisk buyer for me, too, when Toronto won that, you know. But they did win it, you know. It was a great last shot.
It'd be a lot of championships that you would have to put an asterisk by if you went off injuries. So.
Exactly.
True.
So that's not what I'm going off of. I'm going off of the restart took the asterisk off, but then it's the corona. Even when I'm seeing the conditions in the bubble, like, it's a big bubble. They're all staying in like a couple places of this massive thing. I'm looking at the food that's being leaked out to the media, and I'm like, I just don't. I mean, it's a tough environment. So for me, I'm gonna do like a half an asterisk, just because it's like a big AAU thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go in there, you gotta stay in there with your team, practice, and just dug it out to the end, bro, you know, and whoever wins it. But it's definitely at least a half an asterisk.
Mr. Leonard has arrived.
Because it's different.
Orlando,
You're not playing your 82 games. You're not playing – well, your playoff probably going to be the same, but it's just different. It's a different environment.
That's all it is. It's a big 2K game.
You're not traveling. You're not doing that traveling like
I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
Ain't no home games. It has to be something.
Derek Trey, give me 1 second. I'm finna make y'all mad, bro. I ain't gonna lie. As a Rocket fan, bro, I'm hyped. We really finna give boys the business.
You are. James
y'all got a chance because it's basically like y'all playing pickup games.
Exactly.
It's no crowd, and then you got Russ and James Harden. All they got to do is get hot, and nobody's guarding them one-on-one. So y'all have a chance. The thing is, are y'all beating LeBron James and Anthony Davis?
Yes.
I could say.
Are y'all beating Kawhi Leonard and Paul George?
I'm not
Williams
about that one. We beat the Lakers though.
You know what I'm saying?
James Harden is getting the
Are you
rest.
beating Giannis, Eric, that whole starting five in Milwaukee, the whole team in Milwaukee? Do y'all stand a chance against that?
I don't believe in Milwaukee.
Are y'all beating Luka?
Yeah.
So of the teams in the bubble,
that's another question. Are y'all beating Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr. back balling, Jokic? Like, are y'all beating Denver?
Nigga, if I can turn my head even more on this camera, nigga.
Hey, so Dion, give me the teams that you think the Rockets are gonna beat.
Oh, who we gonna beat?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, for one, bro, only team I'm really, really afraid of is the Clippers because they match up with our small, bro. Anybody else, we gonna run them off the court, bro. Straight up.
You're not afraid of the Lakers?
Y'all got PJ Tucker playing center.
Bro, and we beat the Lakers with PJ Tucker playing center.
You think PJ Tucker really gonna guard Anthony Davis in this bubble?
That's not happening.
Bro.
This for the ship.
You got arrested AD. His shoulder injury.
Arrested LeBron.
Bro.
Oh, that's
come on, bro. You got first of all, you got AD, Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee.
I hear you.
PJ Tucker ain't guarding him.
I hear you on one end, but what happened when we came to LA? Russell Westbrook got 44 points on
Westbrook is really going. He's really like y'all favorite right now. James iffy. James don't come through in the pressure. James
is fresh as ever. Hold up, he averaged 36 in the Western Conference Finals last year against the Warriors.
I think
he do that every time.
Still didn't get it done.
Wait, first of all, he didn't
he got Iguodala holding him. He got KD holding him. Who is the Lakers putting on Harden? I mean, who is the Lakers gonna hold Harden with? Really?
Danny Green.
Harden need a ring.
Bro, I'm laughing. Quit playing. Danny Green.
You laughing?
I'm laughing.
He's a 3-and-D player. He's one of the best 3-and-D players in the league.
Bro, as a Rocket fan, bro, I've seen all of Danny Green, bro. Every time he plays first, Harden will light up Danny Green until Kawhi gets on him.
Lighting him up.
Bro, Kyrie dropped 55 on Danny Green.
Westbrook carried y'all throughout the last portion of the season that did happen. Westbrook was carrying y'all. And
so that's show you how scary we is. They ain't even played good together. We still smacking teams.
Y'all ain't beating nobody with a 6'7" center, and that's facts.
Bro, we had 4 blocks against y'all against the Lakers in the regular season.
Bro, bottom line is who y'all think finna win this next ring?
The Rockets.
I don't know about that one.
If I'm being real with y'all, look, out the West, it can either be the Clippers or the Lakers.
That's what I'm thinking.
East, Giannis. I got Giannis.
Danny Green.
I don't trust Boston. I have no faith in Boston whatsoever. So
y'all believe Danny Green to save it on
Giannis out the East.
Oh no, what team? The Nets with Kyrie.
I don't know if Kyrie Irving is playing.
Kyrie not playing. He's not playing.
He's not playing. He hurt, right?
Both of them.
KD not playing. Is out. There's a lot of people out for the Nets. Yeah. But y'all really got me fucked up over here. Danny Green, the nigga that Kyrie.
Danny Green,
but look, listen,
bro. Danny Green, the nigga that got benched for Fred VanVleet in the playoffs last year. Danny Green.
Bench? What you talking about?
He didn't play no second halves. Look up that finals again. He got benched every second half.
Danny Green played his role. Fred VanVleet came in there and was really just showing that he could take Kyle Lowry's spot when he done.
First 2 games he was playing.
Hey, look, when you knocking down, but Danny Green was in the game. Danny Green was playing small forward. Also,
Dion, I think your thing with mute, Dion.
1 through 4.
Your computer went mute.
I can say this. Let's look at defensive strategy, bro.
Nah, Dion.
You don't have to guard James Harden 1-on-1. You could sag off, make James go to the right. Sag off for Russell. Because Russell not about to come.
Who's good and successful in the playoffs, though? Only the Warriors.
Take him back off of mute.
See on mute again?
Yeah, that's what I saw. Yeah, he on mute.
Yeah, Dion is on mute.
I just asked to unmute him.
Just look at it. Look at it.
He's back.
My students breaking up.
Nah, it just keep going to mute.
All right, we were having some technical difficulties, but we now know what's going on with the bubble.
Shout out.
Next thing, go ahead.
Shout out James Harden. We gonna get the
James Harden need a ring. He need to stop playing and go get traded to a team with some players and stop. He needs to make one of the moves that everybody else making because that's how
he made that move already.
He need an entanglement with a better team.
Entanglement with a better team.
Yeah, he in this emotions with the Rockets.
We don't roll like that in Houston. Right? Ain't that right, Broom? We
to the swing. It's all about 2020 entanglements. That's all I know.
Yes.
Entanglement.
That's the word here right there.
Hey, entanglements.
They're gonna kill that. They're gonna kill that by the
next week. That whole done.
It's hard to be another Carmelo, man. I want to get a ring.
Like if you didn't use that word, or that word, like I could.
James Harden way better than Carmelo. He could never be at the middle.
Chill.
But they both were scoring champions. Like Carmelo should have definitely got at least a ring.
Hey, Sid, look, check the numbers before you say those words again. Check the numbers before you speak them words again. We in a different level. It's levels to this shit.
Different level, bro. Yeah. I don't want to hear that.
Bro, has Melo ever been an MVP?
Look, bro, they robbed that man.
Oh, look, Melo ain't never. For one, Melo ain't only been the one.
Melo was a scoring MVP a couple times, I think.
He's a scoring champ, bro. He gets buckets. He a walking bucket.
Yeah.
Hey, this
walking bucket. James trying to act like he a passer. He don't pass.
Bro, we are a 3-time in a row scoring champion. 3 times. Carmelo got
ball hard.
We got 7 assists.
He be playing my player mode. Mode in the
not only have we led the league.
It's something that's a good assist and a forced assist to pad your stats. That's what he be doing, bro.
Not only have we led the league in scoring 3 times, we led the league in assists too.
Hey, look, I like James Harden, but you're not about to sit here and disrespect Carmelo Anthony. I'm not happy.
Bro, nothing about James Harden.
3 people are on you though. That's the thing. 3 people on you. I'll get the assist too. I'm gonna lead the league in assists.
Exactly.
Because they know I'm not.
Exactly. Niggas really thought they could guard Melo 1-on-1, and then he dropping 60 on their head. You know what I'm saying? Niggas really thought they could do that.
No, Melo
really. Harden scored 30 points with 30 sometimes in a row.
That's cute,
bro. There's literally nobody in the NBA. No, bro. There's literally no one in the NBA Harden hasn't rocked.
Because he hogging her.
No,
2K league. Fake dribble moves.
Bro, there is nobody in the history of the NBA outside of Kobe and Jordan. Bro, look, Harden has rocked every single body in the NBA, bro. There's not one person he ain't rocked.
Kyrie has two.
Kyrie
has two.
That's what I'm saying. There's not many people that has literally everybody in the NBA is on his highlight tape. There's not one person not on Harden highlight tape. Everybody has gotten rocked, fell, step back, dunked on. He done got you. Draymond got dunked on. Rudy Gobert?
That's Draymond.
Oh, don't do it.
Draymond different character.
Draymond and James Harden about the same.
Well, now that we know about the NBA bubble and we know about our good friend Patrick Mahomes getting that good money.
It was a good first episode, fellas.
Not gonna lie to you. We're going to miss all of y'all until the next time. I am spoken highly. That's SPOKEN _HIGHLY, and I am fly, and I do stay high. And your access has been granted. This has been the Klear Picture, and we'll see you next time.
We call it quarantine edition.